I'd like you to zero in on the first page and really drill down into the details. Then we can weigh up the pros and cons and decide which projects to take on. You just heard 4 phrasal verbs, most of them quite advanced, that are commonly used in business. Phrasal verbs are 2 or 3-part verbs that contain a preposition or adverb. So, for example, he set up his business in 2010, meaning he created his business in 2010. Can you get back to me today? Can you reply to me today? As with other verbs, we can change the tense of the phrasal verb. Other examples could include, he got back to me yesterday. He hasn't got back to me yet. He'll be getting back to me tomorrow. As any English learner knows, phrasal verbs can be very confusing. So, to help you today, we're going to look at 15 useful phrasal verbs for business, including 5 advanced ones. By the end of the lesson, you will not only have expanded your professional vocabulary, but you'll be a step closer to avoiding awkward situations with your clients where the words they choose leave you feeling lost. One, put off. If you put something off, you delay it until a later time. Can we put off the meeting until next week? We need to put off the launch date until further testing is completed. 2, to bring something up. This is to introduce an idea or subject. Today, I'd like to bring up the issue of staff expenses. In the meeting, Peter brought up the need for better communication between departments. 3, build on. To add or develop something that already exists. We must build on our reputation to expand the business. Building on Emily's idea, I'd like to suggest we do more training. This is a really useful phrase for meetings when you want to recognize the strength of someone else's idea and also show how your idea adds to this. 4, take on. This is to accept something like a new job, responsibility, task, or challenge. He often takes on more than he can manage. Recently, our company has taken on some large projects and expanded its market reach. 5, carry out. To do or complete an activity. The training department carries out regular sessions with employees to keep their skills up to date. The IT department will carry out a system upgrade this weekend. 6, go up. To increase or rise. The cost of living is going up, affecting many households. Our market share has gone up by 5%. 7, put up. To make higher or raise. They plan to put up the price of their subscription package. The bank has put up its interest rates. When we put something up, we make a conscious choice to make something higher, and we have direct control over it. So the bank chooses to put up its interest rates. The company decides to put up the price of its subscription package. This is different from go up, the previous phrasal verb we looked at. With go up, we don't say who or what did it. We simply observe that the change, the increase has happened. 8, go down, decrease or fall. After the increase in price, sales began to go down. The team's productivity has been going down since the introduction of the new software. 9, cut down, to make less or reduce. She used to work 50 hours a week, but recently she's cut down. The team is exploring ways to cut down the project timeline. So cut down and go down. Again, similar meanings. They both indicate a decrease. But with cut down, we have control over this. We make a conscious choice to cut down something, such as the project timeline. With go down, we simply observe that this decrease is taking place. 10. Move on. To start a new topic or activity. Let's move on to the final point on the agenda. I'd worked for the company for 10 years and felt it was time to move on. So before we move on to 5 more advanced phrasal verbs, let's recap what we've learned so far with a story. Paul brought up the problem of staff demotivation in the management meeting. He had noticed recently that employees were putting off meetings, failing to carry out important tasks, and were unwilling to take on new challenges. We need to do something, he said, and asked the other managers for their ideas. Well, said Rav, we could put up all their salaries by 3%. Perhaps we're underpaying them. I'm not sure that's the problem, mentioned Yulia. I think we just need to cut down the number of projects we're taking on. The staff have a bigger workload than they can manage. Building on Yulia's point, said Tom, I agree that staff morale has gone down ever since the workload went up. Okay, agreed Paul. These are good points. Let's move on for now, and we can come back to this topic later. So, as promised, let's look at 5 more advanced business phrasal verbs. Number 1, tap into. This is to make use of some kind of resource to bring a result. The sales team is tapping into social media for customer engagement. There is a supply of skilled workers that the company can tap into. So the company can make use of this supply of skilled workers. 2, weigh up. We weigh up an idea or an option, and when we do this, we consider its benefits and its disadvantages. We need to weigh up the impact of these changes on the project timeline. Before applying for the job, I weighed up its pros and cons. 3, zero in on something or someone. This is focusing your attention on something or someone. Social media allows you to zero in on your target market. The team is zeroing in on solutions to address the current production challenges. 4, drill down, to go deeper or to analyze further. The boss told us to drill down and find out which products people like the most. The financial analysts drilled down into the quarterly reports to find areas for cost savings. So if we say what we're doing further analysis of, we're going to use into with this phrasal verb. So we drill down into the figures, the report, the survey, etc. So our final phrasal verb today, number 5 of our advanced phrasal verbs, wrap up, to finish or complete something. Let's wrap up the meeting by summarizing the key points. She wrapped up the deal before she went on holiday. Okay, so to wrap up this video, I'd like to say I hope I've tapped into your interest in improving your business English vocabulary. We've zeroed in on 15 very useful business phrasal verbs, and we've drilled down to understand their meaning. When you weigh up the value of this lesson, I hope you'll decide you're pleased with it. And if so, please like, subscribe, and share. Also, don't forget to download the free PDF, which has all the information from today, plus a quiz.
And if you really want to take your business English to the next level, then get in contact with me about my business English courses.